How explain that experience too, because a lot of the Hawaii volleyball athletes, they do, camps and go for the USA pipeline volleyball tournaments and teams. So explain how that has kind of helped you develop in high school as well.
I think, going to the mainland and competing with Team USA, whether it be their camp at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs or their high performance championships, just that, 2 week time period where you get to completely just soak in all of Team USA's, just their strategy and how they do things and how they train, doing like 2 or 3 days, and just playing with people that you've never met before around the entire country, but sharing that same passion and drive and wanting to compete for Team USA and having that USA on your back just really elevated my game a lot. And I was coached by a lot of Olympians and a lot of college coaches throughout that time period when I was in the USA pipeline. And so I'd say from 8th grade all the way up until I was a freshman in college, I was in the pipeline. And so working my way up from, just holiday camps and going to those training camps and not being invited to the top A1 team, I really worked myself up from there. And surprisingly, I actually started as an outside hitter. And that's where they gave me the impression where I should really switch over to a libero. And that ended up being my dominant position.
Yes, that's very interesting because most people in Hawaii, they start off as hitters, right? But because Hawaii, and you've heard on some of the previous episodes, Kupono mentioned it, Hawaii, we don't have true height and we're usually undersized and everything. So then passing becomes your strong suit. And kind of explain how that has transitioned or helped you to become a more complete player, especially for the younger athletes listening. And I know you do a lot of coaching, which we'll get to in a second, but for the younger athletes, how does making your game well-rounded, learning how to play various positions, how did that help you to make it to the next level and even to the professional level, which we'll touch on in a second?
I believe that learning to become a well-rounded player not only sets you off from a lot of other people. Of course, we're competing with not just the girls in Hawaii, but we're competing with the entire nation on scholarships or just even teams for Team USA or whatever your endeavors are. You're always competing, and to be able to have that edge really sets you apart from a lot of other people. And it also gives you a lot more knowledge and appreciation for other positions. As a libero, you may never know what the frustration it might be as a setter, where you have to run across the court to set up hitters. Or as a hitter, you may never understand the struggles of, what a setter goes through. And, you can go around and say everything that everyone has frustrations on, but it gives you a greater appreciation of, what your teammates do for you. And being a team sport, you really need to have that. And because that's what I believe creates chemistry, showing that appreciation for what everyone else does for you and how what they do makes it a lot easier on you. And that really just elevates everyone else's game and their volleyball IQ. And volleyball IQ is really important because that is what's going to take you further on in your journey.